Hi, welcome to Week 9 of Trojan Spotlight. I'm your host, David Vega.
And I'm Sam Panagachi.
Friday night we played Morenci. The final score was 13-10 and Whitmore Lake Trojans won. Now, we came out very strong on offense and defense, did a great job. How do you think we did, Sam?
Yeah, we came out firing. It was a great last home game. If you were there, you could tell the air was intense. Both teams Friday night were 4 wins and 4 losses, both playing for a chance to get a playoff berth, and that's always a rough atmosphere.
Yeah.
If you were there, you could tell that the teams were both battling, and defense was really a big key of the night. But we'll start with offense, and man, we really came out to play. The very first play on offense, we scored. It was number 11, senior Kevin Bouchard, ran it back 85 yards just on the first run play.
Kevin Bouchard is also our star of the game, who rushed for 159 yards. And he just did an excellent job, and he was an athlete out there. And
Oh yeah,
really changed the game
he
for
was,
us.
he was there early. Like I said, the very first play of the game, he ran it 85 yards. He had 9 rushes the whole game with 159, so if you do the math, that's a really good average. And we also have another running back, Devin Simmer. He got 86 yards on the night, which is another great production. It's always great to have a dual threat in the run game. We were kind of scared that maybe the run game wasn't going to work for us today, but we came out and we just fired, and that's what did it for us.
Yeah. We got to give Morenci their kudos for their defense. Did come out ready, but they couldn't quite shut down our run game. I think we did a great job.
Yeah, we came out firing in the first quarter. We actually scored both of our touchdowns in the first quarter, missing one of the 2-point conversions. And so it was 13-7, I believe, at the end of the first quarter. And we actually went into our passing game. We tried to see where we could go with that, but they shut us right down. And so we came out in the second half, and we came out just running the ball, and they just couldn't stop us. It was great.
So moving on to defense, our defense did a great job too. We actually have our star of the game, Evan Malbech, who had 12 tackles. Man, he just came out there fired up, and he was shutting everyone down.
Oh yeah, he was definitely excited. You ask any of the players, and he was right there getting everybody involved, yet still dominating himself. He had 12 tackles, and you can never forget Rory Judge. He is our free safety. He's a great player, always motivated. Week after week, he gets better. And you ask anybody, and he's always hitting harder every week. He had 9 tackles.
Yes, Rory Judge had 9 tackles. And we also had Devin Simmer, who was usually an offensive player, but decided to put him on the defense side of the ball, and he definitely showed us the skills. And he had 4 tackles and 2 sacks, so he did a great job out there.
Yeah, if you were there, the 2 sacks were great. He chased the quarterback from the backside, probably 25 yards lateral, and took him down. And man, that really gets your defense going.
So we want to talk about some key things that happened in the first half. You know, with our first play of offense, like we said earlier, Kevin Bouchard ran for a 7-yard touchdown, and man, that was just a crazy play. He broke free around the outside, and they just couldn't catch him.
Yeah, he's a fast kid, and right after that, our defense came out, and you know, we had great plays, but they had one big play on us. I forget if it was 25 yards, but it set them in the red zone, and they just jammed it in right from there. And so, I mean, it was 6-7 because we had missed the extra point, and 6-7, and then our offense came right back out and drove down the whole field, and we scored again. So it was 13-7. It was a great effort. That was the end of the first quarter.
The second score was by running back Devin Simmer for a 1-yard punch in. He just did a great job. And then the second quarter, we held Morenci to only a field goal, and that was the rest of the scoring for the second quarter. So both teams played tough, and no one could get in the end zone, but no one let anyone else in the end zone. So we did a great job.
Yep. Coach Ewald, our defensive coordinator for the whole team, he told our defense he wants to hold them to under 14 points, and that was huge. When he told us that, I was, you know, I'm gonna be honest, it was kind of scary. Like, I don't know, they're a great team. They were 4-4. They'd been firing all season. But at the end of the game, he looked at the defense and he said, "What'd you do?" And they all yelled, "We held them under 14 points," and that's actually what won us the game.
Our defensive line did an excellent job. They just filled the holes, and they basically shut down Morenci from getting any yards. And in the second half, there was actually no one scored the whole second half, but back and forth, both Morenci and us having the ball, it was really nerve-wracking because no one was scoring and everyone was getting so close to the end zone. It was crazy.
The defense was right there the whole time on both sides of the ball. Both teams were just killing each other. It was really rough. Some would call it a blood battle. You know, it was intense, hard hitting. It was a great effort on both.
Yeah, but it was an excellent game.
Yeah. That was the last regular season game that finished Whitmore Lake with 5-4. We had went from an 0-9 season to a 1-7 season, 1-8, my bad, and a 2-7 season, and we jumped right to a 5-4, which is great.
We haven't. Whitmore Lake hasn't had a winning season in the past 4 years, and so this is just a total changer. And in the past 3 years, we have more wins this year than we did in the past 3 years. So I mean, Whitmore Lake completely turned around, and you can see the enthusiasm. And I hope this carries on for future years.
If you've seen the team or looked at the roster or anything, you'll notice the massive amount of seniors we have. I believe it's 16 or 17 seniors, maybe 15, but the senior class really came through this year. There's a lot of kids that were motivated, a lot of kids that weren't motivated, and when the season progressed, games happened, things happened, and by now the team played together. And it was a great thing to see all the classes come together, and I believe it's a revival. It's a whole new Trojan football feeling.
I really believe that this season will set the tone for future seasons, especially next year, and I hope we come out and do even better, and we can guarantee that spot for playoffs.
Yep. Tonight at 7 o'clock, there will be a TV show announcing every single high school playoff team. And being a 5-4 team, you do have a chance to make it in the playoffs based on what teams you beat, how good they were, and it's called playoff points, how many points you get towards getting into the playoffs. And both Morenci and Whitmore Lake being 4-4, we were fighting for that playoff spot, and that win definitely gave us motivation to just keep driving forward.
So if we do make these playoffs, we really hope our fans will come out and to wherever our game is at, and they will just support us, because this is a big thing for Whitmore Lake. It hasn't happened in years, and to make playoffs, I hope you guys just decide to root us on.
If you can't see the show tonight, I encourage you to ask around and find out if we're in playoffs, because if we are into playoffs, that's a huge thing. That's one thing Whitmore Lake has wanted to see for a while, and being able to be a part of that team, being able to, just be a part of that team will be a great experience.
So we'd like to thank our fans who came out Friday night and cheered us on. It was our home game, so it just really set the mentality. I think it really got us pumped up. And we'd also like to thank, again, Peaberry Bean and Beats for this whole time letting us use their establishment. I'm just so happy we got to do it here, and it's a great vibe. So if you want to stop by here, it's Peaberry Bean and Beats. It's a great place.
Yeah, now that the regular season's over, we just got to say thank you to all the fans, all the students, all the athletes that came out and performed and actually helped us the whole way. It's a whole group effort, and we just want to thank you. And you can never forget the coaches.
Yeah.
Our coaches, a whole new coaching staff this year. I believe we had two coaches that came back from last year, but out of 7 coaches, they're all old players and old Whitmore Lake players, and they all have that passion. And I know that Coach Pennycuff is our head coach. He came in, he did a lot of fundraising. He did a lot of new things for our program, started some new traditions, got a new vibe going, I would say. And we just want to thank Coach Pennycuff too.
Yeah, without him, we would be in our old pads and everything. And we'd like to also thank Coach Kerrigan, who was our quarterback coach. Without him, our footwork wouldn't be great, and we'd be just, total back to how we were. And without him, it's just, he helped us with our passing, our running, doing the option, and doing reads, and he's just a great coach.
Yep, Coach Stephen Ewald, he is a graduate of Whitmore Lake also. They all are, all the assistant coaches. And Coach Stephen Ewald, he's our defensive coordinator, as I mentioned earlier. He's a great guy. If you ask any of the players, he's a phenomenal coach to be around, great to be fun with, and he still knows everything he needs to know. And he's young, and he's totally looking forward to more seasons.
And we also had our offensive line coach and defensive line coach, Coach Green. And man, he's just a great guy. He's funny. He's fun to be around. But when it's time to crack him down, he can definitely do that. And he keeps his line real disciplined. And I wish I'd have got to spend more time with him this season. I didn't get to see him much because obviously I'm not a lineman. But he's just a great coach.
Coach Charlie Hartag, he's a returning coach from last year. He is an offensive line, defensive line coach with Coach Green. And those two together, they definitely make a good pair. They contrast each other, yet they still believe in the same things, the most important ethics towards football. And those two were great this year.
We also had Coach Ramey, who was our linebacker coach, and he's just a great coach. He's a fun guy, and he definitely keeps the momentum up, and he never keeps his head down, and he's always a happy guy. And he actually was a linebacker at Whitmore Lake in 2008. He was a senior, and he just did a great job. And he really set our linebackers on the right road to helping us out this season.
Yep. Coach Billy Ramey was a lot of fun this year. I'd say he's our funny coach. He's a great guy to be around. And his dad was also an assistant coach, Coach Bill Ramey, senior. I don't really know what he coached. He went everywhere, you know, and he would say that himself. He went everywhere, and he was motivation. He loves us. Every day he would always say, I love you guys. I'm in it for you. And he meant it too every day. It was good.
Yeah, Coach Ramey Sr. was like our hype man. If someone was down, someone messed up, he'd make sure he went over to them and brought their head up, and he would just change the whole mentality of everything.
Yeah.
So we'd like to thank all of our coaches.
Yeah, thank everybody that participated and was involved in this year's season. So make sure you check out today's show. It's at 7 o'clock if you get to see it, and it's really going to be risky whether we get in or not. But if we get in, we encourage you to come out and support, because playoffs is a big part of high school.
Yep. That's all for our week 9 of Trojan Spotlight, and hopefully we get to see you guys next week.
Yep.